Hello everybody, how are you all? I hope you are good and you are healthy at home. I hope सब ठीक है घर पे और आप बहुत ही healthy और safe and sound घर पे हो. So welcome everybody to Graceland Kids English School, and this is your first class to actually learn science, and this is going to be your English science class that is going to be online. So I hope that you all are ready. Yeah, I think, can I hear you? Like, can I hear you say ready? Okay, ready, let's go. So I'll be teaching you science online. So let's move on to our next slide. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so hello everybody. This is my pen. I hope you can see it. So my name is Siddiq Shirgaonkar, and this is my email ID, but I hope this won't be of much use to you. So let's move on to the next page. Okay, so I hope all of you have actually watched this video on introduction, right? And if you haven't watched this video on introduction, go and watch the video first. You have to watch this video because if you don't watch this video on introduction, you will not understand how to use these online lectures as a source for your study. Okay, अगर आपने ये वीडियो इंट्रोडक्शन के ऊपर नहीं देखी है तो आप सबको जाकर ये वीडियो देखना है, बिकॉज ये बहुत ही कंपलसरी है. आपको ऑनलाइन क्लास किस तरह से देखना है आपको इस वीडियो में, इंट्रोडक्शन की वीडियो में जाकर ही आपको पता लगेगा. सो मैं आपको रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ कि आप इस क्लास की वीडियो स्टार्ट होने से पहले फिर से इंट्रोडक्शन की वीडियो जाकर आप देखें, ठीक है? ओके, सो लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट पेज. ओके, सो क्लास 5, दिस इज योर फर्स्ट लेक्चर, science, and this is going to be your chapter 1. So the first chapter is more about plants. So I hope that all of you have this Xerox worksheet that the school has provided. आप लोगों के पास Xerox की वर्कशीट है जो आप लोगों को स्कूल ने प्रोवाइड किया है. So I know आपके पास अभी टेक्स्ट बुक नहीं है. I know you don't have a textbook. So this is your textbook. Okay, this is your new textbook. So basically you will get your textbook in the next month or in the coming days. Don't worry about it. And unless and until you don't have your textbook, we will provide you with all the necessary worksheets and the Xerox copies. Okay, so let's begin. Let's begin our first chapter, that is more about plants, right? Let's move on to the next page. Let's begin with introduction. Okay, I will read sentence by sentence, word by word, to help you understand. So all you have to do is listen to me very carefully. If you have anything around you, if there's somebody playing, just go on into a quiet room and watch the lectures. Okay, अगर आपके आसपास में बहुत शोर है तो आप किसी कमरे में, कोई खामोश से कमरे में जाकर आप पढ़ाई कर सकते हो, ठीक है? So let's just begin with introduction, and I want you to also look into your books and look into the video as well. Okay, because whatever you will see in the video, जो भी आप वीडियो में देखेंगे वो आपके बुक्स में, आपकी बुक्स की कॉपी है. Okay, so let's begin. Introduction. We see many kinds of plants around us. Have you ever wondered that how do these plants increase? Increase means maybe this is a small plant, right? But now the plant gets big. So this is what it means by how do the plants increase? It is the process of reproduction by which their number increases. Okay, so what is reproduction? How do these plants increase? These plants, like this plant becomes a big tree by the process of reproduction. Okay, so what is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which living organisms produce more of their kind. So what is reproduction? I will read again. Reproduction is the process by which living organisms are like plants, animals, small microorganisms. These are living organisms. Like living organisms are plants, animals, right? And microorganisms. Okay, these are all living organisms, and they produce and they increase in size by reproduction. So maybe this is a small cell. Okay, this cell will divide into two cells. Now this cell will divide into two more cells. This cell will divide into two more cells. You see, and by this process, like you see, before it was one cell, now it is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these four cells, now these four cells will divide, and finally the organism will increase in size. So this increase in size is by the process of reproduction. Okay, now let's move on to the next page. Okay, let's look at page number 280. Okay, let's look at page number 280 over here on the bottom left side. 280. We will learn about reproduction in plants. So basically reproduction is like, we as human beings, हम सब human beings हैं, but what do human beings do? Human beings give birth to small babies. Human beings छोटे babies को birth देते हैं. Cat छोटे babies को birth देते हैं. Dogs छोटे babies को birth देते हैं. So what is this? It is reproduction. Okay, so now we will study about the reproduction in plants, right? I hope you all know what is a plant. So let's begin. The two different ways by which plant reproduce are, there are two ways by which plant reproduce. There are two ways by which plants reproduce, by which they give birth to a new baby. Okay, so plant reproduce through seeds. Okay, plant reproduce through seeds, and plant also reproduce through their body parts such as stem, leaves or roots. I know this can be very confusing, like, wow, I don't understand anything, what is this? Don't worry, because we will learn slowly as we move ahead. Okay, so this is just the introduction. Don't worry, we will, as we move in the chapter, you will learn more and more. Okay, so the most common method of reproduction is through seeds. What this means is that most of the plants they reproduce through seeds. Okay, look at this. This is a seed. Now maybe this was a tree. Okay, this tree made so many seeds. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds. Now this seed comes over here. Okay, now this seed will grow into a big plant. Okay, now this seed will grow into a big plant. So most of the time plants reproduce through seeds. Okay. Now next, the plants first bear flowers which turn into fruits. The fruits enclose seeds that later grow into new plants that are similar to the parent plant. Wow, too much of information, but you see over here, it's very easy. The plant parts, what they do, they first bear flowers. You see this, suppose this is a tomato. Okay, look at this tomato. So how do we get a tomato? What happens is a tomato plant will first produce flowers. It will first bear flowers. Okay, this, okay, the first will happen is they will bear flowers. Now this flower, okay, now this flower will grow. This is a grown flower, and this flower will now become a fruit. Okay, let me zoom it. Okay, you see, which turns into a fruit. Now this flower is turning into a fruit, and when you cut a tomato, you see tiny seeds, right? When you cut a tomato, you see when your mother is cooking food, and when she is cutting the tomato, you see tiny seeds, right? What if you take those seeds and put them into the soil? They will reproduce into a big tree. They will grow into a big tree. Okay, and that tree will look same as its mama tree, right? That big tree will look same as its mama tree. Okay, so look over here. The fruits enclose seeds that later grow into new plants that are similar to the parent plants. Like this baby plant will be same as its mama plant. Okay, now let's move on to the next page. Okay, so I hope your eyes are on the page where it says reproduction from seeds. Okay, now we will study reproduction from seeds. Let me clear this page for you. Okay, see, now first we will study this part, reproduction through seeds. Okay, reproduction from seeds. Most plants reproduce from seeds. The parent plant disperses or releases seeds. If seeds land where the conditions are right, they germinate and grow into new plants. Okay, what will happen is, if this is a plant, okay, let me go to a blackboard. Okay, sorry, this is my blackboard. So what will happen is, this is a plant. Okay, this is a tomato plant. Okay, tomato. This is a tomato plant. So what will happen is, a tomato plant will disperse or release seeds. Okay, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this tomato plant will release the seeds outside. Okay, and one of these seeds will find favorable conditions. Okay, favorable conditions. Will find some favorable conditions, and if all the conditions are met, this seed will grow into a plant. Don't worry, we will read everything. If the parent plant releases the seeds, if the seeds land where all the conditions are met, conditions like soil, water, sunlight, and all the nutrients, all the good nutrients, these are the conditions. Okay, if all the conditions are right, okay, they germinate and grow into a new plant. Okay, they will grow into a new plant if the conditions are right. What will happen if the conditions are wrong? I showed you 5 seeds, right? 1 2 3 4 5. Maybe only one seed gets the right condition. What about the 4 seeds? If the 4 seeds don't get the right conditions, if the 4 seeds don't get good soil, good water, good nutrients from the soil, they will not grow. Okay, they will not grow. Now let's read this part. But not all seeds produced by a plant can grow into a new plant. Some are eaten by birds and animals, while some get destroyed by rain or extreme heat. Some are not able to develop into plants due to insufficient air, moisture, or sunlight, or some are immature. What will happen is, if one seeds get good condition, but maybe this seed, what will happen is a goat will come and eat this seed. You know, in when the goat will eat seed, have you ever seen a goat with a tree on his head? No, right? We don't see a goat with a tree. So that seed will not grow in the stomach of a goat. So the seed gets destroyed. What will happen if there's lots of rain, lots of, or if it's too hot? The seed will not grow. Okay, the seed will not grow. And if there is no air, if there is no good air, like we human beings need good air to breathe. If there is no good air, the seed will not grow. Okay, now seeds that survive and get favorable conditions such as air, water and sunlight for their growth can grow into new plants by the process called germination. Okay, I hope you understand now. When that small seed gets all the good conditions like air, water, sunlight for its growth, then that seed will grow into a plant. And that process of growth, that process of tiny seed to grow into a big seed, is called the process of germination. Okay, so I have written the definition for germination for you. What is germination? Germination is the process by which a tiny seed develops into a baby plant. Okay, by the presence of water, air and sunlight. Now let's study the parts of a seed. Okay, look over here, we have a seed. Okay, this is a small picture where you can see this animal, and this animal is eating a seed. So when this animal eats a seed will not grow. Okay, now you see, this is a seed. Okay, this is a seed and its parts. So let's just study its parts one by one. Okay, I hope you are listening to me. I hope you are not asleep. Okay, focus. Okay, so parts of a seed. There are 3 parts of a seed. Okay, there are 3 parts of the seed called as seed coat, embryo and cotyledon. Okay, seed coat, embryo, cotyledon. Okay, seed coat, embryo and cotyledon. You see, this is a seed. See the outer part. You see this blue part? Let me zoom in a bit more. Okay, you see this part, you see this green part, this green outer part is called a seed coat. Okay, this pink part is called a cotyledon. Okay, and this, don't worry, I don't think we have this whole, we don't have embryo in this, but I will show you embryo in the next picture. Okay. So let's just begin with seed coat. Okay. I think I have a good diagram for you. I hope you can see this a bit clearly. This outer part is called the seed coat. Okay, this outer part is seed coat. These inner parts is called cotyledon. So seed coat is very strong, you know, it's very hard. So when a animal will eat a seed, it will not grow because the seed coat protects the seed. Okay. And look at this embryo. Okay, when this seed will start growing step by step, we will call it as an embryo. Okay, but let's just study seed coat at first. There are three parts of a seed: seed coat, embryo, and cotyledon. So let's study seed coat. Okay, what is a seed coat? Seed coat is the protective covering formed outside of the seed. Okay, you see, this is a seed and the seed coat surrounds the embryo. ये जो seed coat है वो embryo को surround कर रहा है protection के लिए. जैसे आपके मम्मी पापा आपको protect करते वैसे ही seed coat protects a embryo. Seed coat protects a seed. Okay. This protective covering safeguard means protects the seed against damage caused by pests and other animals or fungi. Okay, look over here. These are pests. These are small insects that eats the plants. So the seed coats protects these. The seed coats protects the seed from these insects. Okay, the seed coat protects the seeds from insects like these. You see how they are eating this plant leaf, and this animal is also eating a seed. So seed coat will protect the seed. Okay, it also protects the seed against very harsh weather conditions, very hard weather conditions, you know, very rough weather conditions. It protects the seeds against very rough weather conditions such as lot of heat, you know, like lots of excessive heat or winter and excessive water intake. Okay, now let's move on to the next page. Okay, I have explained to you, this is a seed. Okay, this is a bean seed. So this is the seed coat. This outer part is the seed coat. Okay, now let's move on to the next part first. The seed coat also protects an embryo. Okay, the seed coat also protects an embryo, a baby plant formed inside the seed, from these external damages. Okay, the seed coat also protects an embryo, a baby plant formed inside the seed, from these external damages. Now what will happen is when the seed gets favorable conditions like air, water and sunlight. Okay, so this seed will start growing. And when the seed grows, it grows when its first step, like the baby seed. Okay, the baby plant. Okay, the baby plant is called as the embryo. That very small tiny growth of a seed, it's called as embryo. So this is an embryo. You see, an embryo has lot of different parts. Okay, an embryo has lot of different parts when it grows. So the seed coat protects the embryo as well. Okay, embryo, what is an embryo? Embryo is the baby plant. You see the baby plant, the small leaves, a bit shoot and a bit of a radical. Look at this. This is a seed. Okay, when this seed gets good conditions, it becomes a embryo. You see, and it is protected by a seed coat. This brown color, this brown part is the seed coat, and this green part is the embryo. Okay, everybody? Okay, let's begin. During the process of seed germination, when the seed is growing, okay, when the seed is growing, the part of the embryo that grows below the soil is called the radicle. The part of the embryo that grows below the soil is called as the radicle. Okay, so look at this. The part that grows below the soil is called as a radicle. This part, I hope you can see my mouse cursor. This part is called as the radicle. Okay, this part again, this part is the radicle. Okay, and the part of the embryo that grows above the soil is called as plumule. Okay, the part of the embryo that grows above the soil is called as plumule. You see, this part is the radicle, right? This part that is growing above the soil, it is growing above the soil, it is called as plumule. I have another thing, I have another diagram. You see, this is the seed. Okay, this is the embryo. Okay, now this part that is growing above the soil, it is a plumule. Okay, so plumule, the part of the embryo that develops into the first true leaves of the plant. Okay, these definitions, okay, these definitions are given at the end of your chapter. Okay, so just go and read them. Just go and read them at the end of the chapter. Okay, now during the process of seed germination, the part of the embryo that grows below the soil is called radicle, and the part of the embryo, and the part, you see, this is the embryo, and the part of the embryo, you see, this green color is the embryo. Okay, and the part of the embryo that grows above the soil is called a plumule. Okay, plumule. Okay, plumule. Great. Okay, very good. Now let's now let's read ahead. A cotyledon. Okay, a cotyledon, I'm gonna say it again. A cotyledon is a significant part. A cotyledon is a significant part. Significant means important part. Okay, a cotyledon is an important part of an embryo within the seed. Let me show you where a cotyledon is present. You can see, right? Look at this. Look at this. This part. Okay, all this part, right? This is the cotyledon. And where is cotyledon? Cotyledon is present inside of the embryo. Okay, so cotyledon is, look at that, this is an embryo, right? This whole embryo, like this is a small baby plant, right? And inside this small baby plant there is a cotyledon. Okay, now what is the function of cotyledon? Do you know what is the function of cotyledon? Let's read. So a cotyledon is a significant part of the embryo within the seed of a plant. Okay, it provides nourishment to the embryo until it begins to grow. Okay, it provides nourishment to the embryo. It provides nourishment to the embryo until it begins to grow. So what do you mean by this? When the seed is very small, you know, and it gets all the favorable conditions, when the seed gets all the favorable conditions, like over here, okay, this seed is becoming an embryo. Okay, now when this seed gets all the favorable conditions, it becomes embryo. But this embryo does not has any leaf. Okay, This embryo does not have any leaf, no roots. So where will the seed get its food to grow? You know, the seed, that baby plant needs food, right? That baby plant needs food. And since that baby plant does not has any leaf, like the baby plant has no leaf, right? The baby plant has no leaves, okay, and no roots, right? Now when the baby plant does not has any leaves, does not has any roots, how will it grow? It needs food to grow. So this seed is very smart, okay? This seed is very smart. The seed knows, seed को पता है कि जब ये एम्ब्रियो बनेगा इसके पास लीफ नहीं होंगे, इसके पास रूट्स नहीं होंगे. सो सीड पहले ही अपने अंदर फूड को स्टोर करके रखता है. एंड व्हाट डज द सीड डज? It stores all the food inside its cotyledon. So this cotyledon, let me clear the slide. This cotyledon, it has all the food and the nutrients that this embryo needs in order to grow, okay? This cotyledon has all the food and nutrients it needs to grow, okay? Now let's just read. It provides nourishment to the embryo until it begins to grow, okay? It provides nourishment to the embryo until it begins to grow. Upon germination, the cotyledon may become the first embryonic leaves of a seedling, okay? What do you mean by embryonic leaves? Look at this. Let's look at this diagram, okay? So this seed is growing, right? And you can see the green part. This green part is the cotyledon, but the cotyledon is the stored part. cotyledon में तो food store किया है. But आप ये देख रहे हो, can you see this? The cotyledon, when the plant is growing, new leaves are forming. Now when the new leaves will form, the plant does not need cotyledon. Why? Because it can make its own food, right? Now the plant can make its own food. So now this cotyledon is not needed, okay? So this cotyledon will turn into small tiny green embryonic leaves, okay, which will shed away. So upon germination, the cotyledon becomes the first embryonic leaves, okay? Embryonic leaves of a seedling. This is a seedling, okay? But this seedling is not having any embryonic leaves. Why? Because the embryonic leaf has fallen away. When the plant grows, the embryonic leaves fall away, okay? There is no embryonic leaves anymore left on the plant. It's only the leaves, it's only these true leaves, okay? These true leaves that are present. Now when I say a radical, okay, a radical, what will a radical do? Okay, what will a radical do? It will develop into roots of the plant. And since a plumule grows above the soil, it will grow into the shoot or the stem, okay? Shoot or the stem of the plant, okay? I think let's take a break. Okay? I think I will end my class over here and I will give you some homework, okay? So pause the video right now and you have to write this in your homework book, okay? Learn about germination, and you have to write the definition of germination 2 times and you have to learn it. And you also have to write the different parts of the seeds. What are the different parts of the seeds? I think you know. I think you just learned. So I will not tell you what are the different parts of the seeds right now. Okay. This is homework for you. Okay. This is homework for you. Okay. I will not tell you different parts of the seeds. Okay. And I will also not tell you about germination. I'm not telling you anything about the homework. Okay. So, and you also have to draw a well labeled diagram of the plants and seeds. I am also not telling you what is a seed and where its diagram is present. Okay. Okay. So you have to do that 2 times each in your homework book. Okay, so this is some chocolate that I got it for you. You can pick anyone you like for my first class. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you again in the next class. Thank you everybody. Okay, bye bye.